Hello and welcome to Me, the Wife and Wrexham AFC.
A weekly podcast and YouTube channel where we discuss all things Wrexham AFC from the point of view of long-term fans and new fans.
So sit back, put your feet up, relax and let's get stuck in. Hello and welcome to episode 70 of Me, the Wife and Wrexham AFC. I'm better now. Yay! I feel
Hallelujah!
Yeah, I feel back to normal, which is good.
As normal as Ryan can be.
Yes, just a quick point to make. We've got the dog in here with us today. And I'll be honest, we're 30 seconds in and she's doing me head in already. She is sniffing everything. She is literally just licking.
She'll be fine in a minute. She's just because she's not usually allowed upstairs. That's what she's like. Oh my God, this is like new territory. So we will soldier on and get through it. Persevere. So let's crack on with the news.
There's something I wanted to mention first. We're not going to mention it every week, but we do have a new podcast. We've got a new podcast. It's called For Better For Worse. We'd love as many people as possible to subscribe to us. We're on YouTube, we're on Spotify, we're on Apple, we're on all them usual places. If you're watching us on YouTube, there's a link down to everything in the description of this video. Help us out.
Go check it out.
Go check it out. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Anyway,
news.
Back to this podcast.
Yes. So earlier this week, earlier last week, should I say?
Yeah.
They announced that M&S is going to be the sponsor or partnership. For Wrexham Football Club for the next 3 seasons?
3 years, yeah. So we've gone into partnership with M&S Food. Basically, we've gone into partnership
That's purely because Wrexham have just opened, or will be opening before Christmas, a massive M&S food hall. So I think that's why it's in conjunction with that.
And M&S have got some sort of policies about helping out in the community and things like that. And them policies, oh God, I nearly dropped my iPad. Them policies sort of align with Wrexham's philosophies and policies and what they want to do in the community as well. Hence why we have this now partnership.
So on the back of that announcement,
yes,
the M&S Christmas advert was released earlier last week as well, or late last week at some point. And it showed or starred, whatever you want to call it, two very special men in the Wrexham community's lives. Do you know who those two men are?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, basically.
I do not know what you're on about.
If you don't know what I'm talking about, then the viewers and listeners have no hope.
Yeah.
Basically, what I'm trying to say is Rob and Ryan are voicing left and right mittens.
Are they? I didn't know that.
Oh my God. You've definitely been living in a rock.
No. Do you know why I don't know that, right? Because No, because I've seen that the advert keeps popping up. I think the
you keep going swipe.
No, because the Wrexham badge appears on one of the baubles on the tree, don't they?
And there's a Rex under the tree.
And I was watching that, and I was looking for the bauble, but every time I watch the video, I do it with no sound, so I didn't know that.
So I think Rob McElhenney is the left mitten, and Ryan Reynolds is the right mitten, and it's also featuring Dawn French as well. So it is honestly, it's such a good advert.
Yes, it looks very good. I obviously haven't heard it.
Well, make that your homework.
I will do that.
You need to go and.
Oh, I look a bit stupid now.
You do a little. See, if you'd watched it, you would have known.
Oh, my dog! That dog is doing my head in.
She's just leave her alone. She's not she. If you had watched it, you would have known what I was talking about.
Yeah.
I thought you were literally just going, she's talking absolute tosh.
No.
But no, that is a fact. Rob and Ryan are featuring as voiced mittens in the M&S advert.
There we go. Anyway.
So go check it out.
Yeah, I will do. Other news this week. So there's numerous men at the club are taking part in Movember.
Maybe some of the women are as well.
Maybe.
You just don't know.
Yeah. So for anybody who doesn't know what Movember is through the month of November. Men they shave prior to November starting, and then they grow a moustache. For charity, and they raise funds for it's for men's health. So it's like men's mental health, suicide prevention, testicular cancer, prostate cancer, numerous different things. Although you can do it for anything you want. You can raise money for it for other things if you wanted to. But if you do it officially through Movember, that's where the money goes. It's not just them things. There's numerous different charities. I did it last year.
Yeah, if you go back to our videos on YouTube from last November, you will see as the weeks go on in November, Ryan's moustache getting bigger and bigger, and this. Yeah. If you're watching on YouTube, Ryan did this a lot.
And it's smooth it out though.
Really irritating.
I haven't decided, if I'm honest, I haven't decided if I'm doing it this year. So I haven't shaved in November, I don't think. No, I haven't. So I potentially could do it. I just haven't decided. Basically, me and Siân work. This isn't our full-time job, unfortunately, but we both work in the food industry. So a prerequisite of doing that is I have to be clean-shaven. If I am not, I have to wear this horrible beard snood over my face for a full shift.
I luckily don't have to wear PPE because I don't work in the factory.
So I'm a little undecided of what to do, if I'm completely honest.
We will obviously, if you don't decide to do it, we will be obviously donating.
We'll still donate, but I might do it.
Because the likes of Ollie Palmer, Billy Waters, a few of the, I can't think of them off the top of my head, but a few of the players are doing it. Yeah. If you go onto Ollie Palmer's social media, I think on Instagram, he actually did a reel or a story of him shaving his beard off, and his little boy was not happy about it. So he looks completely different now. Some people are saying he looks like Rog McElhenney.
Yeah, I don't know.
Which, I'm not sure he does. But yeah, go check it out. Donate if you can, and let us know if you're taking part. Actually, that'll be interesting to see. So
you'll find out next week if I'm taking part because you'll know by watching the video. So I undecided. Maybe we'll see how we go. Okay, so one game this week, the Mansfield game.
I don't like weeks like this.
I don't mind the odd week where there's only one game, because...
It's because you don't like spending money, that's why.
No, it's not. No, it's not that. It's the fact that, because I work shifts, I'm to go to a game on a Tuesday. So sometimes it's a pain, especially if I'm on the other shift, which would mean I'd miss the game. I then either have to swap a shift or use holidays. So I from time to time, just Saturdays, I'm good with that. I'm all right with that. I don't mind that.
Yep.
So, FA Cup first round match, Mansfield Town.
Yes.
We were unsure, really, of what teams they'd put out, weren't we? So, I was talking to some people, long-term listeners of the show might remember a couple called CJ and DJ who came over to visit us.
Sorry, can I just say?
Yes.
They're having a baby.
We
just want to say a massive congratulations to CJ, DJ, and we cannot wait to meet baby Cork. Yeah. Sorry, carry on. Yes. I had to get that in.
So he was talking to me about, how important the FA Cup was, and he was, asking questions. And I said, to be honest, for me, personally, I think the FA Cup is pretty important because I think it builds. I always say winning is a good habit to get in.
Yeah, of course.
So if you can build a nice little run, it generates revenue for you. It brings money in, and it increases exposure. And, it's nice to watch your team win games, isn't it? And progress through a competition. Are we ever going to win it? No. The likelihood is we're not going to win it, but it is nice to get through.
Yeah.
You look at some of the much lower teams that were in the first round and won the first round games. So one I'll pick out is Ramsgate. So big congratulations to Ramsgate. It was their first ever time, I think, in the first round of the FA Cup.
Know that.
And they won and they got through to the second round. I can't remember now.
But
I didn't go that in depth into it. But, first time in the second round for them. They did amazingly well to get into the second round, but their fans sort of celebrated as if they'd won the competition.
Are they the ones that ran onto the pitch?
I think some of them did.
Yeah.
So they'd
okay.
celebrated as if they'd won the competition because that's what it means to lower clubs.
Yeah.
We
know that, don't we?
We're not a non-league club anymore, but it's still nice to get a bit of a run.
It was good, yeah. I mean, Saturday. I don't know what day we're on.
No, I know.
On Saturday, we played Mansfield in the One Call Stadium, I think, down in Mansfield. And it was a good game. And like you said, we weren't sure of who they were going to be choosing, who Parky was going to have up for the squad.
Yeah, like I said, CJ had asked me what sort of team that he thought we were going to put out, and I said I don't know because, you know, we're third. We are third in the league. Mansfield are fourth. Our priorities obviously lie elsewhere other than the FA Cup.
Yeah,
it's nice to do well in the FA Cup, but priorities lie elsewhere. So I said, I think you might see quite a few changes. As it turned out,
not that many.
No, both teams put really strong lineups. So I think both teams were thinking, no, we'll have a go at this.
Yeah.
You know, because it was one of them the difficult conditions.
Horrendous.
I think
ball, when they were kicking the ball or throwing it in, it just went into the mud.
Yeah.
Not great.
I would say they weren't horrendous conditions. I would say they were slightly less than perfect. If you ask anyone who does or has played football.
Like yourself.
Like myself.
Were you a defender or a striker?
Oh, shut up, will you? Then I think they would say they like it when it's raining a little bit skid, you know, and you can play nice slick passes and so slightly less than perfect because it was so awkward for a lot of players because some of the passes were skidding off the turf and going out.
Yeah.
And then some of the passes were sticking in the mud. So it was like they didn't know what strength to play their passes.
Yeah.
So it was difficult conditions. We didn't, like I say, we didn't make that many changes. It was pretty much a team. It was a team that you'd look at and go, well, yeah, that's, you know, pretty strong first team. I knew McLean would play and I knew Mullin would play because they're obviously going to be suspended and we'll talk about that in a little bit. So I knew they'd sort of run them two in the ground because they've got a little bit of a break coming up. But the rest of the team was pretty solid.
Pretty standard, yeah.
So
Ford was in though. He was
Ford came
not
in.
Usual at the moment.
Cannon came in as well. Now Cannon had a shot. I think it was in the first minute. Just sort of whizzed past them.
Literally, yeah.
And
it was.
I think I turned to you and I said, that's pretty much more than we managed in the whole of the first half the last time we played Mansfield. And I think that sort of set the tempo for the game a little bit.
Doesn't it? Yeah.
Because it sort of felt like both teams were going to have a go at this. And they did.
They did.
To be honest, it was fairly end to end, I'd say.
Yeah.
Now, it seemed a lot more open than the league game that we played. Sorry, I'm just getting put off a little bit.
I'm going to have to just dip out of this camera for a shot in a minute and just get this because she is wrecking this. So I do apologise. I will be back. I will be back.
Yeah, so the dog has decided to take a cushion that we've got in the room and has decided to chew it to death. So I knew it was a nightmare letting the dog be in here. But
she's like, right, what can I chew now?
Yes, I know. Look at her just looking round on the prowl. Anyway, it was it's a lot more open, wasn't it?
Yep.
Than the league game. The league game was very cagey.
Yeah.
Do you think that's probably because it's a knockout competition? So they've sort of gone, look, we don't want to replay. Nobody wants a replay. They don't want to. You don't want to start stacking up games, and you have to play extra games. So, do you think knockout competition? They've gone right. Come on,
let's just go for it.
Let's have a go for it.
I think so. Yeah. We definitely. I mean, like Parky actually said in an interview that the FA Cup games for Wrexham are very important, and that it's an historical kind of event and things like that. But yeah, I think even Parky would agree and say, nobody wants a replay. We want to go out there, win, lose, or draw. No, not draw, sorry.
We don't want a replay, but we're going out there to draw. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, win or lose, but no draw. So, yeah, I think, who do you think out of the two teams were dominant from the in the first half?
Um,
Don't know what that was.
it's quite awkward that because it was so open.
Yeah.
It didn't really feel like you'd have a couple of minutes spell where it sort of felt like we were on top, but then they'd have sort of like 4 or 5 minutes when it felt like they were on top. I mean, the first. Not, but maybe not the first chance, but the first one I really remember was Dalby had a bit of a sight. He sort of dribbled round, really nice little skill to be fair to him. Dribbled round the defender, got a shot off, keeper saved it, and but they had a couple of. They were just pinging shots from outside the box, left, right, and centre as well.
Who Mansfield were?
Yeah, so nothing really on target. Okonkwo did have to make 1 or 2 little saves. But it sort of felt like it could really go either way.
Yeah.
And I think that's what you want from a cup tie, though. You don't want people sitting back, being cagey. The league's very different because in the league, you're away from home like we were when we played in the league. You want to keep it tight. If you get out of there, they're a title rival at the end of the day. If you get out of there with a point, you'll go, I'll take that. That's a decent point to get. But, in a cup game, it's different, isn't it? You just want to go all out. And I think both teams were there to win it.
Yeah.
So we went 1-0 up after 24 minutes-ish. Cannon, lovely little through ball. Dalby let it run across his body and then hit it back across goal, right in the top goal. Great finish, to be honest. Really great finish. The one thing I'd always say about Dalby from time to time is I always wonder about the strength of his shots. So I don't. There's times when I feel like he scuffs it a little bit, or he doesn't put enough power behind his shots, But yesterday he had that. He had that shot where it was.
Yesterday.
Yeah, and the goal that he scored.
Yeah.
Absolutely, there was no stopping that. Right across the keeper. I think the keeper got a hand to it, but pretty much sort of towards the top corner, and it was great. It was a brilliant finish. I think we were probably definitely the better team at that point. And then Dalby had a chance to make it 2-0.
Oh, yeah.
A lovely, I think it was Elliot Lee. He had the ball in the middle. He played like a reverse pass to Dalby. Dalby did a similar sort of thing, absolutely whacked it. And as he hit it, the keeper just touched it onto the bar, so it sort of thundered off the bar. I don't know. Yeah, I'll ask you then.
Knock me off my chair then.
I'll ask you. Do you think, with your knowledge of football now, do you think he could have done anything different there? The one that hit the bar. Do you think he would, there's anything he could have done differently? Or are you just sort of going, what are you talking about? It's just a case of hitting it and see what happens.
When you say it hit the bar, which bar did it hit? I can't remember now.
There's only one bar on a goal.
Oh, the top. Oh, I hate all these technical...
It's not technical. You got 2 posts on a bar.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know.
No. Okay.
I don't think I am knowledgeable enough to say, oh yeah, he should have done this or he should have done that. I don't know. So
all I wondered.
Stop asking me questions like that, making me look stupid.
No, I wasn't making you look stupid. I was just interested. That's all. I think for me, he connected so well with the first one to score, and I think maybe a little side foot in one of the corners might have been better the second time, but he'd done so well with the first one. He thought, I'm going to whack this one again, and he did. To be fair to him, it nearly went in.
Yeah.
But I just maybe something slightly different. I think maybe might have, but I'm being hypercritical then in a situation.
When Dalby scored, I think I leapt and screamed. I was like, yes, well done, because he just. The way that he played against Notts County and then obviously the way that he played against Mansfield on Saturday, he just deserved that goal. He did.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad he got it. And I would have loved to have got a brace or a, I know what brace means, or
Get you.
yeah, or a hat trick. But you know, he got one goal, and I think that will do so much for his confidence, because a lot of fans. I did an appreciation post on our social media.
Yeah.
Basically for Sam Dalby, because a lot of Wrexham fans, have been knocking him recently, saying, "Oh, he's not made." Even you.
Yeah, even me.
Yeah,
I'll
you're
be,
not. Yeah, he's not made for League Two, or maybe he's not made for League Two.
Yeah.
But I think since he's signed a new contract, I think there's been a new side to him, and I think something's flicked, switch flicked. Oh my God, seriously,
Professional, you.
Down to the
switch flicked, flick switched.
Something in him has switched.
Yeah.
And he's such a good player, and I do think that he is, you know, he's just going to get better and better and better.
Yeah.
You know, having all these people like Palmer and Fletcher and all these people around it, Mullen even, all these people around him, I think he's going to flourish, and I think he's going to be such a good little player.
Yeah, he's definitely switch flicked, I'll be honest. Yeah. So it went a bit quiet after that, didn't it? We had Lee had a shot. I think that was the point where it sort of kicked back into gear a bit. Lee had a shot saved by the keeper, and then Dalby had the follow-up. Probably should have scored the follow-up. He probably could have had a hat-trick, to be honest, in that first half.
He probably could have.
Just a little bit more luck or a little bit more composure. I think maybe, you know. But yeah, and Mullin had a little bit of a chance after that as well. And then we had the penalty shout, didn't we? So... shot from, I'm going to say, don't know. I think it was Lee. Dog snoring now. So
you're talking about this. People probably can't even hear it because we've got sound. What's the thing on these microphones?
We have got noise cancelling.
So they're probably going, "What are you on about? Can't even hear a dog."
Or it's louder than us, because that's how it feels. So the penalty shout. So I think it was Lee had a shot. I'm not sure. Ball goes in, looked like it hit someone's arm, but it was quite quick from you know, the natural sort of TV angle we were at. And we weren't sure, but a lot of the Wrexham players shouted for it. Ref waved it away. Saw the replay. What did you think?
100% a handball.
Yeah, it was.
100% a handball.
Yeah.
And you'd think that where the linesman was standing... possibly he had a better angle of it.
I think the ref had the best angle because he was sort of right behind it. Where the linesman was, I'll let the linesman off a little bit, because if you bear in mind, he was sort of square on to the goal, and as the ball's come into him, he raises his arm up. I think it was his right arm.
Yeah.
And it strikes him on the elbow. Now, the linesman's in line with that, so I'm not sure he'd have the clearest view in the world of what happened.
But you're saying the ref did, so...
The ref
I didn't know where the ref was.
Definitely. I think it's all about consistency for me in football. That's the thing that annoys me the most. That's a penalty any day of the week. And I'm not a massive fan of VAR. We've had huge VAR controversies in the Premier League.
God, yeah. Only just yesterday.
This weekend. So there's not the money there to be able to put VAR in every ground in the EFL. I'm not a fan of it anyway, so I wouldn't want that.
But sometimes you just wish that you had it for those instances.
Just for them, yeah. But I think as well, the thing that gets me is you've got the ref who must have seen it. You have got a linesman, but you've got a fourth official who's standing closer than we are, as on the TV screens as well. So you'd hope that one of them could see him, because at the end of the day, that's their job. That's what they do. That's what they're there to do. So it was disappointing. It would have been nice. I think the only disappointment for me at half-time was probably that it was only 1-0. I think that was the only disappointing thing.
It could have been 3-0, 3-1, we could have
4-4.
4-4. No, I don't think it would have been a draw going into half time.
No, I think like I say, I think the only disappointing thing for me was that it was only 1. Because I think we had the chances to be further ahead and to be a little bit more comfortable, and it sort of felt a little bit like when you only go into half time at 1-0, I think it's one of them where you go, you know, when we've seen Wrexham turn games round before, go in at half time, you reset, the manager has a bit of a chat or whatever it is that he does.
A verbal swearing twat.
Yeah. Anyway, so you reset and you come back out and you apply yourself in a different way.
Yes.
So when you're only 1-0 up, you sort of go,
they could come back and steal this.
Especially there at home as well. You sort of think, the first half we've seen isn't necessarily the second half that we're going to see. Do you know what I mean?
But usually in the second half, whether we're drawing or losing or winning, we seem to kind of just go out there and just play even better than the first half.
Yeah, but what always worries me about Wrexham is I'll use the Sutton game as an example. So the Sutton game, we probably should have been more than 1-0 up at half time. We weren't. We come out in the second half and we just weren't in the game at all. That was that we were playing a team right at the bottom of the table and we just let them dominate the game.
Because we
were at home.
Yeah.
They're bottom of the league and they dominated that first 20 minutes. That is what Wrexham are capable of at times, and that's what worries me. Doesn't matter how well you've played in the first half. We do have the tendency to go to sleep a little bit, especially when we're in the lead. And when you've only got a slender lead, that can lead to big problems.
I mean, if it was 5-0 going into half-time, you'd understand them being a bit, laid back. But 1-0, it's a dangerous game to play.
Yeah, so Okonkwo made a couple of good saves in the second half.
He was magic.
He was good.
Okonkwo. I don't know the song.
You don't know the song, no. I could tell by the first two notes that you sort of spit out there.
I'm no songstress.
No. So he played well though, didn't he?
He did.
Then we had another penalty shout. So Ford went over the defender, got tripped. I thought, that looks, again, the ref was close to that one. Penalty for you?
If I'm honest, I didn't see that.
Didn't you?
No, and I haven't looked at it on the highlights either, so I don't know. But if you're saying yes, then yes. I concur.
It was a definite penalty. Yes. I've watched the replay. He goes round him and he just trips him up. And I don't know how the ref or the linesman haven't seen that one. I don't know why they didn't want to give it. There was, I don't know. It's another one of them. But for me, there was 2 penalties in that game we should have had. And we didn't get either of them.
So talking of penalties and things like that, there's one time in that game where there was a 100% red card for a Mansfield player when Cannon got injured. When Cannon went down, you may disagree with me, but I'm sure a lot of people out there will agree with me.
I'm sure they will.
It was 100% a red card. He should have got sent off for what he did.
I do disagree. I don't think it was a red. I think it was late.
Which is a red card.
No, just being late isn't a red. Just because it's late doesn't make it red.
It was more than a late.
It was a bad yellow, but I don't think it was a red, to be honest. And as well, for me, the ref has got to be a little bit sensible with the conditions, I think. Because everything's slightly different in that sort of weather. I think the ref probably got that one right. For me, I think. I'm a lot more lenient with stuff like this because I don't agree with just dishing out red cards left, right and centre because that's not football to me. Some of the challenges when I was younger.
I was playing.
And back in my day. I mean, that didn't even get yellows. Do you know what I mean? Sunday league games and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I know it's different.
Changed a lot since the 1980s.
It just wasn't a red for me. I felt sorry for Andy though because he played really really well. You know,
you could tell how gutted he was, the look on his
Yes,
face.
I know, but you know, he's worked hard to get back in that team. He played really well against Notts County. He played well on Saturday against Mansfield up to that point when he got injured and he had to go off.
I think if he hadn't gone off, I think he would have scored us another goal.
Do you?
I do. I
not
think
a big score. Not a big scorer,
no, he's not
Andy, is he?
No, he's not. But I think he was so determined.
Yeah.
I think he possibly could have scored another goal. So
Yes.
we hope you get well soon, and we hope you're not out for too long, Andy, because you are a superb little player.
But we knew that anyway. I think he just lost a bit of his mojo, to be fair, because, you know, remember last season when I think we were away at Dagenham and we had that little midfield three of O'Connor, Cannon and Lee. You know, we had them three in the middle and we were like, this is the best midfield ever. You know, so Cannon's got it. You know, we know he's got it. He just lost his way a little bit, I think.
And I think every player has those moments,
they do.
don't they?
And he's worked hard. He's got back in the team. Hopefully he's not out for too long. Fingers crossed.
We haven't heard anything as to what the injury is or how long he's going to be off for. But there is somebody who is out for a while, which we haven't mentioned. Last week, Stephen Fletcher had a knee operation.
Yes.
And he's going to be out for at least 6 months. Is that right?
No, I'm not sure. It'll be
which is basically the rest of the season.
No, it'll be the new year.
Okay.
It'll be in the new year, but at some point. But
which could be in 6 months' time.
It could be. We don't know.
So
players do recover quite quickly from knee operations these days because of the, you know, obviously it's a lot better. I had a knee operation a few years ago. It took me ages.
13 years ago it was.
13 years ago. And it took me ages to recover. But one, I'm not a professional athlete.
And B, you like to milk things a little bit.
Yeah, okay. And then the other one is I don't have a team of medical staff looking after me.
You don't have a physio on hand like that.
I don't. Yeah. So anyway, Mullin made it 2-0. Yes. Good goal. Sort of nice little ball from Dalby. Mm-hmm. We didn't really have a chance to sort of catch breath, really, and then it went 2-1. Yeah. Again, that was a really good goal they scored as well.
I don't think Okonkwo had a chance to.
I don't think he did either.
No.
One thing the commentators on the game were saying was Okonkwo's got very good feet, so he won't just dive from where he is. He will take a step and then dive. For their goal, he didn't do that. He didn't take a step. No. He literally dived from where he was. He must have. I think that was just the ferocity of the shot. He had to dive quick. I think just a slight little step and then a dive. He might have got something on it. But I take nothing away from the goal. It was a great finish, to be honest. Both teams seem to have sort of chance after chance. Yeah. I remember Caylor Dunn had one where the ball came across. He was about 4 yards out and he went to just tap it in and it went under his foot. I think after about 65, 70 minutes, it could have been 3-3. Yeah. 3-4 all, you know, because
it was a close game.
It was one of them. We sort of started to slow the game down at that point.
We wanted to stay ahead.
Yeah, but this is my question that I want to ask. We started to slow the game down. We started to try and control the play a little bit more, passing it around the back, passing it into the middle, back again, and then just sort of, you know, trying to dictate the pace of the game a little bit. And it was very slow, I would say, compared to the rest of the game at that point. Mm-hmm. How do you feel about us doing that? Instead of going, right, we're going to kill this game off. We're going to play the way we've been playing. We're going to get a third. We're going to try and get a fourth. Compared to what we actually did, which was sort of bring the pace down, slow it down, try and dictate the...
I'm happy.
Yeah.
I think when, you know, maybe more so in league games, really, you know, when you're 2 ahead, well, you're not 2 ahead, you're 1 ahead, aren't you, really? Yeah. Because it was 2-1. But when you're ahead of the opposing team, I think... and there's not that much time left. I'm quite happy for if it was the opposite team.
It was about 20 minutes left, though. That's what I mean.
Yeah, that's not that long. If it was the opposing team doing that, I'd be pretty annoyed. But because it's our team, I'm happy about it.
I think for me, I would like to see them push on and get more. Yeah. I would like to see them kill games off. But that's the one thing I think I would change about this Wrexham team. Because in games like this, you know, we were 2-0 up. And I think we'd have done the same thing as 2-0, but we didn't really get to see how we were going to play at 2-0 because they came back so quickly. But I think we'd have probably done the same thing, slowed it down, try to hold on to possession. For me, I just want to keep going, get a third, push for a fourth.
Yeah.
Let's get, just keep going. You're playing well and you're winning the game, so just keep going with it. Man of the match for you?
Sam Dalby.
Yeah. I would. I'm happy with that.
Yeah,
I
think he deserved it.
I'm not going to have a big discussion about it. I thought he played well.
The award for the dirtiest player goes to Elliot Lee. He's always...
Oh, as in...
Not as in like dirty as in fouling and stuff like that.
No.
I mean like dirty as in muddy, kit-wise. Every single time it goes to Elliot Lee.
Yeah.
He was absolutely he put a post on his Instagram, I think it was, or it might have been Twitter or X, of just the bottom half of him, literally from the tip of his toes up to his shorts. He was just black, covered in mud.
Yeah,
Always.
You could tell how sort of like muddy it was because when Mendy and Young came on, their shorts and socks were gleaming.
They were. You could see them.
You knew where they were.
Yeah, you knew they'd only been on for a few minutes.
Yeah, definitely. Quickly, let's talk about Welcome to Wrexham this week. Oh. So we had the Notts County episode this week.
The most anticipated one, I reckon.
I'd say so.
Apart from obviously the Boreham Wood game, which will be on probably next week, I hope.
Yeah, maybe, unless you're going to slot another one in before that one. Depends. We'll have to wait and see. What did you make of it though? Do you think they did it? Think they did it justice?
Yes. I keep referring back to social media, but I did say on social media that the way that Wrexham FX have done. I mean, last season's documentary was amazingly put together and all this kind of stuff. But I think this time it's just gone a step up. I think we were there at the Notts County game.
Yes.
We were at the home game, the Notts County game, the third to last game, wasn't it? And we were like, well, for me, I can't really speak for you, but for me, I was like, oh my God, I feel really anxious. When Scott, is his name Scott? The one who took the goal?
Kedwin
Scott. When he stood there to take the penalty, and Ben Foster was obviously, getting ready to save it or whatever, I honestly, I just felt... I sort of stopped breathing. Yeah. Because I thought, oh my God, it's just the way that they've done it, the way that they've put the whole thing together up until this point has been amazing. And I think I got a little bit emotional when Ben Foster saved that goal. I think again.
You always, when a new film comes out or a new bit of music comes out, and then for a short period you're like, this is my favourite song ever, or it's my favourite film ever, and then but I always reserve myself a little bit from doing things like that, because once the dust settles and then you're 6 months or 12 months down the line or whatever, you sort of look back and you go,
it's all right,
it's good, but it's not my favourite ever. But I think I'd said...
Got an itchy nose.
I have got an itchy nose, yeah. I think I said that the Ben Foster penalty save was my favourite footballing moment ever. And I don't usually do things like that, jumping the gun and saying things like that. Mm-hmm. But I think 6 months down the line? Ish, give or take. Yeah, somewhere around that. I still feel that. I still feel that is my best, my favourite footballing moment of all time, I think, was being there for that. I think that is still my favourite.
Oh, yeah.
I would say so. And so to see the way that they did it and they put it together, I thought it was excellent.
Definitely.
And it's weirdly, we've only watched the episode once though, haven't we? I thought I'd want to watch it again.
I don't know whether I do. I just want to kind of remember it, how when we watched it, obviously, like I said, we were there, but I think it's like one of those things where this is like really morbid, but when someone passes away, you just want to remember them how they are. Well,
what an odd analogy.
It's true, but I just want to remember that save.
You don't want to go and see the body. You just want to remember it.
Yeah.
Okay, so they can stay. Okay, all right. Anyway, let's move on. They can stay in the morgue. You don't want to come and see them.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Or in the archives, let's be
Would you come and see me?
Oh, shut up. I don't want to talk about that.
Would you, though?
No, stop talking. No.
Okay.
You just make me anxious now. Stop.
My illness is over now. I'm good. I'm good to move on. I've had the blood tests. I've got the all clear.
Yeah, although you are a little bit anemic.
I am anemic.
You are a little bit anemic.
A little bit anemic. Anyone out there who's got any tips for someone who's anemic, I'd love to hear them.
You could just Google it, but you know.
Could do, but why when people could tell me?
Yeah. Okay.
What works for you?
So, our game on Tuesday, the 7th of November.
Yeah. September.
I don't know why I'm saying it.
Yeah.
Is Port Vale in the EFL Trophy.
Yeah.
Has the EFL Trophy been changed now? It used to be, or was it the Papa John's?
It was the Papa John's,
It's some sort of motor thing now.
Is it? It's got a sponsor?
Yeah, motor something. I can't remember the exact name of it,
Oh,
but
right,
yeah,
okay.
it's changed.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So the motor something EFL Trophy.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's the last group game in the EFL Trophy.
Yes.
It's a It's a bit of a pointless game.
It's a bit of a dead rubber, yeah.
Yeah, because we're already qualified.
Yeah, so we've already qualified. Port Vale are second in the group, and they've beat Crewe, and they have. Excuse me. Excuse me.
This episode is terrible.
All over the place. They beat Crewe,
yeah,
and then they drew with Newcastle under
they
21s.
Did.
Although they got a bonus point from that game.
Why is that?
So of the AFL Trophy. So it's 3 points for a win. It's 1 point for a draw. No points for losing. Standard. But if you draw in the AFL Trophy, you get your 1 point. It then goes straight to penalties. Whoever wins the penalty shootout gets a point as well. So you'll have teams who have played 2 games that are on 5 points, which is technically impossible. But that's because they've won 1, drawn 1 for 4 points, but then won the penalty shootout, which makes 5. So there we go. Anyway, we've already qualified for the next.
So it's at home on the 7th of November. Kick-off at 7:30.
Yeah.
It's available for everyone on iFollow because obviously it's not within the media blackout. And Port Vale are currently 16th in League One. So it's an interesting thing, game to watch because obviously, League Two against League One.
Yeah.
But as we said, it's nothing-y game really.
No. Tickets are still available for the game if anybody wants to go. Anybody local listening. Prediction?
You do yours first.
I'm going to go for 1-0 Wrexham.
I'm not going to go with a clean sheet. I'm going to go 2-1.
2-1 Wrexham.
2-1 Wrexham.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. The next game after that is on the following Saturday, so it's back into league action against Gillingham. So it's Saturday the 11th of November at 3 p.m. It's available for international fans only on iFollow. Our last competitive game against Gillingham was May 2000, and that was in Division 2. And that was at the racecourse.
What's Division 2?
I want to say League 1, but I think Division 2 was League 1 now.
That's confusing.
Yes, I know it is. Yes, but it might have been League 2. I'm not sure.
Okay.
There was a lot of change back in around 2000 where we had Division 1 used to be the Premier League, and then Division 1 changed to the Premier League, and then Division 1 was what is now the Championship. And then the Division 1 changed to the Championship. So then and it was all over the place. But
I'm sorry I asked now.
I know, yes, I know. So we'll be without Mullin and McLean due to suspensions. How do you think we'll cope with that?
I don't even want to think about it. I just, McLean and Mullin, obviously Mullin is one of our star players. But I think it will give a chance for the other players to, because what we seem to do is if we have like issues with injury or suspensions or whatever, we do seem to kind of come to the forefront, and we are like, we kind of come together.
Yeah.
So I am a little bit worried.
Yeah.
But in Parky we trust. I think he has got something in mind. Obviously, as soon as he knew that McLean and Mullen were going to be out of this game, I mean, you've got Dalby, you've got Palmer.
Well, that's your front two.
That done.
End of.
Done.
There is nothing else.
Done.
No, not done. There is no other
I'm just
options.
saying it's done.
There's no other options there.
Which is pretty worrying, isn't it?
There is no other option. It's Mullen, it's Palmer and Dalby up front.
Okay.
End of.
Yeah.
So I think McLean being out, although a great player and he's been a great addition to the squad, I think that's less of a worry in my mind because there's a reason Anthony Ford started on Saturday against Mansfield, and that's with a view to him starting against Gillingham to get his fitness up, get some match minutes into him. And the reason for that is, come Saturday, Mendy will play on the left, and Ford will play on the right. So that is set. And we're good with that, as long as neither of them get injured this week. Because if, for example, Ford got injured,
we're screwed.
We are a little bit, because Barnett is the replacement. He's out for 8 weeks, injured. We do have Andy Cannon, who has played right back before, but obviously he got injured the other night as well.
What about the likes of Max Cleworth?
Potentially, but he's a central defender. It's like Owen O'Connell as well. He's out as well, isn't he? Sorry, forget that.
Hayden, is he injured still?
No, he's on the cusp of coming back. So he can't.
Tunnicliffe, he's injured. He's out.
Yeah, I know. You
oh
can't,
my Christ!
You can't. It'd be a struggle, but we've got a team that we can play there.
Yeah.
Okay, we've got a team, and we'll be fine.
There's no need to worry.
No. So they've only won one of their last 4 league games, Gillingham, after quite a sort of promising start.
Yeah.
They've lost the other 3 as well, so it's not like they've picked up any other points from anywhere else. They're 9th in the league on 25 points at the moment, so that puts them 5 points behind us. Still a dangerous team, but they have sort of they have drifted a little bit recently. They've won 8, drawn 1, and lost 7 in the league this season. Their top scorer is Macaulay Bonner?
Bonnet
de douche.
Macaulay Bonnet,
maybe. Prediction?
I'm gonna, even though it's gonna be a tough game, and I'll probably be eating my words after the game on Tuesday, but I'm gonna go 3-2.
3-2
to Wrexham.
Okay.
Why? What are you doing?
I'm going to go 2-0.
Yeah?
2-0 Wrexham, I think. Yeah, it'd be good.
I'm still winning on the prediction front, by the way.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, just from
You were close yesterday.
I was close on Saturday, with Mansfield game. I went for 2-0. And I was right for a brief period.
You were?
Very brief period.
Well, you didn't celebrate because you knew that it was just going to...
Yeah, I know. So, a couple of people who got in touch this week. We haven't done this for ages, and I do apologise. People do get in touch, and we just sort of run out of time, so I've tried to make sure that we do it this week. We had Chaz from Montana getting in touch. He's going to be visiting Wrexham at the end of March and through into April, and he's hoping to go to the Mansfield game and the away game at Doncaster. Fingers crossed for him. So we're going to try and help him out as best we can with that. So good luck, Chaz, and we'll look forward to meeting you.
Yeah.
Peter from Austria, who's been a guest on the show before, he's coming back to Wrexham again in March for the Accrington game.
Yes.
He thinks. So we'll wait and see. But
hopefully we'll be able to meet you this time, Peter, because last year when you came, not last year, this year when you came to the MK Dons game, we were on holiday. So hopefully we'll get to meet you this year.
Yes.
This time.
Anybody wants to get in touch, please get in touch on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or TikTok. Or you can email us at methewifeandwrexhamafc@gmail.com. Quick shout out for Dragon Chat. So Dragon Chat is a mental health peer support group. They run a weekly Zoom call on a Thursday, 7 p.m. till 8:30. The best thing to do is to follow Dragon Chat-Steve Lloyd on Twitter. They also do something called Dragon Chat Strollers. Not sure they do it through the winter when the weather's quite bad, but basically what it is, obviously Dragon Chat is a weekly Zoom call. Now, some people don't like sitting behind a laptop or an iPad and doing the whole virtual meeting sort of thing and talking about how they feel and where they need help and things like that. Some people prefer doing it face to face. That's where Dragon Chat Strollers comes in. It's an opportunity to get out into the community, go for a walk and have a little bit of face to face time and talk about anything that you want to talk about. As I say, you know, follow Dragon Chat Steve Lloyd on Twitter, and all the information is on there for that. Anybody who wants to jump on that call, all the details are down in the description if you are watching this on YouTube. If you're struggling to find it, just get in touch with us and we'll point you in the right direction.
Yep.
Okay, quiz time. I'm back. I've done an actual quiz this week.
You did a quiz last week and it was...
I did a true or false quiz. Just
I did well though.
You got 3 last week, didn't you?
Out of 4?
4 out of 5.
I can't remember.
No, I think you do. I think you're wildly inflating
I got
that.
7 out of 5.
Yeah. So we're back. We're back with 2 lies, 1 truth.
Yes, well done.
If this is your first time watching, I'll explain it. So
where have you been?
Where have you been? Episode 70. Where have you been? So basically, I will read out 3 statements. 2 of them will be lies. 1 of them will be the truth. The aim of the quiz is to pick out the truth, which Siân is rubbish at. And it's hilarious. And that's why I keep doing it.
Yeah.
No, she has good weeks. It's a guessing game, innit, really? Just a bit of fun, innit?
Yeah.
Yeah. Fun.
Fun for you.
Fun for me, yeah. So.
Okay.
First one.
Uh-huh.
On Saturday, Wrexham AFC posted a list of times the FA Cup game would be on around the world. These places were included in the list.
Okay.
With times next to them. Ford, Virginia, USA. McLean, Queensland, Australia. And Boyle, Alberta, Canada. Have you seen have you seen the post I'm talking about?
Yes.
They've basically got all the players' names and their different places.
They've got Tozer as well.
Tozer Island.
Yeah. I'm going to go Ford.
Ford, Virginia, USA. You know the way I say it, don't you? But it's wrong because I just get that nervous energy inside me.
No, you get that
excitement.
You're wrong, I'm right. See you later.
You are wrong.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's going to be Boyle.
Ford is in, I think it was the Ford one.
Sounds Canadian.
No, it's got like it's like fjord. It's like Danish or something like that. That the Ford
The Danish
one.
fjords.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is Boyle.
I thought it would be.
Boyle, Alberta, Canada is on the list. So unlucky. So what's that? 0, 0. 0 out of 1. Okay. On Thursday, Wrexham launched the vote for October Goal of the Month. Included in the list was 1, Ollie Palmer's goal against Crawley. 2, Cara Jones' goal against TNS. That was her first goal, sorry. She scored 2 against TNS. Number 3, Jordan Davis's goal against Salford.
Jordan Davis.
Jordan Davis? Wrong.
Cara's.
Wrong. Do you want another go?
No.
No, I wouldn't make
I give up.
It's Ollie Palmer's goal against Crawley.
I was going to say Ollie Palmer, but then I thought Jordan Davis was a little bit better.
Yeah, it wasn't in the list, that one.
Wasn't it?
No.
Maybe they compiled the list before that goal.
No, they didn't, because it was October's goal of the month. So, no, I literally picked goals from October as well to make sure it was, factually correct.
Legit.
It was Rosie Hughes's goal against TNS that they picked. It was Ollie Palmer's goal against Crawley. It was Paul Mullins' goal against Sutton. And it was also Elliot Lee's goal against Sutton as well. That's who was in the list. For anybody who hasn't seen
Anybody who cares.
Anybody who cares. Third one. A successful and unbeaten October is now behind us. In the month of October, we scored 14 goals. We picked up 14 league points. We received 14 yellow cards.
I'm going to go with the yellow cards because we received a lot of yellow cards.
That's incorrect. We actually received 19 yellow cards in October. I can't remember which one it is.
Oh, for Christ's sake.
I didn't highlight it. It's
Well, how do you know the 14, the yellow
it's
cards?
not yellow cards, because remember that was 19. It's league points picked up. Look, whichever one it is.
Unfair.
No, whichever one.
Unfair.
Whichever one it is.
It's not the one I said.
It's not the one you said. That's what I know. Oh, that's atrocious.
Have you done it, yeah?
No.
Oh.
No, not at all.
I could still get a point.
You could do. It's time to test your Welsh.
Oh, crap.
Basically, for anybody who doesn't know, we did mention it, but we're going to appear on a Wrexham documentary. Not that Wrexham documentary, unfortunately. It's an S4C documentary. It's called Club Ni. So a film crew came to our house and they had a little chat with us.
Film crew.
Well, it was, wasn't it? Well, yeah, anyway. So they interviewed us, they watched us doing the podcast and a few things like that. So we'll be on that document. Well, that'll be next year. So we'll bring that up in the future anyway.
Obviously.
But because of that, I thought I would test your Welsh, okay? So the following are Welsh footballing terms. Okay. Cam sefyll, 2, amser codi, or number 3, petrial cornel. I can read them again for you if you want.
No, I've got a feeling that amser codi is half time.
Yeah?
It's not, is it?
I'm not, look.
I'm going to go with that.
Amser codi.
Yeah.
No, amser codi is time to get up.
Oh.
Or rising time
What's
or whatever.
half time?
Hanner amser.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry. Petrial cornel. Do you know what that is?
Petri cornel. No.
That is rectangle corner. So that isn't right. It's cam sefyll.
What's that?
Offside.
Oh,
Cam sefyll. Sefyll.
As you can tell, I'm not fluent Welsh, but Ryan is. So I can't pronounce words
Cam
in
sefyll.
Welsh.
Cam sefyll.
Welsh.
Cam
I
sefyll.
can't even pronounce our son's middle name properly.
I was going to do Carden Oren. Would you have known what that is?
Well, oren is orange. So,
So you would have got that. That was orange card. So that would have been a false
Why couldn't
one.
you have done that one for me?
Because I thought it was too easy, so that's why I took it.
What's card?
Carden.
Carden Koch.
Yeah. Well done.
Or melon.
Last one.
Yep.
Twitter facts, or X facts, whatever you want to call it.
Okay.
So, Wrexham joined Twitter in July 2007.
Okay.
Wrexham only follow 136 accounts. Wrexham have over 594,000 followers.
I'm going to go with the 136 of them following, because I'm sure I've seen that figure on there.
Yeah? What? Is that the one you're going for?
No, I'm not. No. Yeah, I'm going to go with that one.
You're going to go with
I know it's not right, but...
Well, change if you want.
No.
No.
I'm not a cheater like you.
Well done, because that is right.
Yes.
I tried to get you to change.
That's just mean.
Yeah, they only follow 136 accounts. They joined Twitter in July 2009. They have over 554,000, not 500.
Has Twitter been around since 2007? I don't think it has. Facebook started in 2007.
I don't know. I just changed the date that was on there to make it an incorrect fact.
Okay.
So, thank you very much for tuning in this week.
It's been a bit of an episode, hasn't it?
I'll tell you what we didn't mention.
What?
Who we drew in the FA Cup.
Oh my God.
We purposely recorded this episode late so that we could mention that who we'd drawn in the FA Cup, and then we didn't mention it. So we drew Yeovil in the second round of the FA Cup. Are you happy with that?
I am, because I think I'm not going to count me chickens yet, because do you know what? But I think we will do well. And we'll get to the third round at least.
Fingers crossed. I think it's a good
time. It's a home game as well.
Home game against a team that are a couple of leagues below us. They're doing well in their league, to be fair to them.
Yeah.
But a home game against a couple of teams, leagues below us. Good opportunity to get in the third round and draw one of the big teams, I think.
I hope so.
Fingers crossed. That'd be really
Anfield,
nice.
So Liverpool, Man City, Everton, Man United, any of those will do.
Any of them nice and close. I'd like to go to Spurs, though. I would like to go to Spurs.
That's down south, isn't it?
London, yeah. Yeah, I would like to go there. So,
okay.
Anyway, thank you very much for listening and watching this week, and we'll see you again next week.
Bye.
Bye.